Hi, my name is Clement. I'm a studio and wildlife photographer. Welcome to my world.
I know. Even the crew's like, Obiosi wewe, wacha kutudanganya. I know. It's unbelievable because of this guy's great work. Clement Kiragu is here. I stalked him and I finally told him, yo, your work is so amazing. You have to come on air and share it with the rest of Kenya. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you,
Thank you very much,
Clement?
Kobe. I'm good.
My pleasure. It is such my pleasure. Thank you so much for such a great job, and I really appreciate it. But it's not just about me. You've done so many beautiful pictures of wildlife and individuals. Clement, tell us your story. When did you fall in love with photography?
Well, first, I went to college at Buruburu Institute of Fine Art.
Okay.
I studied fine art for 3 years. Went on to do advertising for almost 10 years. And when I was in advertising, I used to get a lot of work from photographers. I used to do the retouching, and sometimes I wouldn't get what exactly I want. So that's when I decided, why don't I invest in a camera? And that's why I started.
That's where you started from.
Yeah.
Amazing. You know what I always say, if you're passionate about something and you follow through, the rest will just fall into place. Tell me a little bit about that transition, coming, of course, from being employed, working for the man, and deciding, you know what, I can actually do a better job, and I can actually earn a living from this. Not an easy decision, was it?
It was a very hard decision.
Okay.
It was very hard because, you know, as photographers, this is art. And everyone has their own way of seeing things. And it was quite difficult to do that transition, because now I've done this for 5 months, full time. Professionally, I did this, I used to do it on the weekends, just to practice and see where this goes. And it's been good. I can say it's been good.
All right. Tell me a little bit about your interest, because different photographers love different things. But when it comes to commercial, paying the bills, keeping the lights on, sometimes you end up having to do some work that is not really your passion. Tell me a little bit about how you divide that and what your interest is.
My main interest is beauty. I want to get into fashion. I love wildlife, but of course, sometimes you have to do jobs that you don't really love. Yeah. My love is in beauty photography,
okay,
and fashion and wildlife. But I'm always shooting weddings, I'm always shooting baby showers, you know.
Products.
A lot of product photography,
okay,
a lot of family photography, babies, you know.
Yeah.
Family is good because once you get a good client in family, you always, it's like you have a client for life, because they get a baby. These babies are always graduating nowadays, you know, standard 1, standard 2. And you go on, it's like a journey. You take a journey with this family, and you kind of know this family completely. And
I can tell you for real, you're gonna be, I'm gonna be your client for life.
oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
You're
you,
absolutely unbelievably good, and you have this calming spirit about you, which a lot of photographers don't. When you think about the industry and where we've come from in Kenya, where, you know, almost a decade ago, what you found were a lot of foreign photographers,
yes,
a lot of Zungus who used to get all the jobs.
Yes.
And then there's been this renaissance, this advent of amazing Kenyan photographers emerging in such a beautiful way, and showcasing our own talent. Tell me a little bit about your own experience with that.
Well, I'll take you a bit back.
Okay.
Yeah, we have to understand that in Kenya we live in a community where the arts are not really appreciated, and people don't see art as a career. You know, we grew up knowing you're either going to be an accountant or a doctor or a lawyer, and there's this generation that is coming up, and we are starting to appreciate art. We are starting to appreciate photographers, people who do fine art, makeup artists, stylists. So I think it's a very good time to be alive in terms of art. And I really appreciate this, because we are actually now starting to get jobs. Before, when I worked in advertising, it used to be Mzungus would get all the jobs.
I remember,
you know?
I remember. Yeah,
So
Duncan Willits was the guy who I was an apprentice for.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, and we are starting to get clients to trust our art, because we have the equipment, we have the knowledge, we have the art, and it's a good thing. It's really a good thing.
And
that we are getting there.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Right, so before we take a look at your photos
Yes.
and very specific wildlife and studio and
Yeah.
beauty, equipment is a big deal.
Oh, yes.
There are now photographers all over online, especially on Instagram, who are taking pictures on their phones now. The advent of technology has enabled us to do a lot. But what would you say about professional versus hobbyists? Because it's a very, very thin line right now. What can you say to that?
It's a thin line, but I like not to dwell on the equipment a lot, because at the end of the day, it's an instrument of which allows you to tell a story. So it doesn't matter if you're using a high-end camera, a medium format, or even a phone. If you're good at it,
Yeah.
and you have the eye for photography, it doesn't matter what you're shooting with. Just keep on doing it. Keep
I
on
love
doing
that.
it. Yeah.
Okay, so says the guy with, can we get a shot of this? Can you lift up this lens?
Oh.
Can we compare it with ours? Guys, please, please take a look at the difference. Yeah, so what kind of lens is that?
This is a Sigma 150 to 600
Okay.
sports lens.
Uh-huh.
I mostly use it in wildlife.
Wildlife.
photography, yes.
Fantastic segue right now. We have his photography with us, and I'd like you to take us through some of the images that we've selected.
Sure.
Can we go ahead and put those on full screen? I've seen some beautiful zebra shots. You are so good at wildlife. Take us through some of the pictures that we're seeing.
Wow, wildlife is... you have to have a lot of patience in wildlife.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to sit there for hours and hours waiting for something magical to happen.
Yeah.
But the results are so amazing, you know. I like shooting wildlife because it's not like people. You can't pose these animals. You can't. You have to use the light, the natural light that you have, to create the dramatic shot you have.
Look at this. Is this a whale? Oh my God. Am I seeing what I think I'm seeing? Is that a crocodile?
Yes, that's a croc. That was Mara in 2015.
This is the wildebeest migration, right?
That's the migration, yes.
Oh my God. Have you managed to sell some of these pictures?
I have. I have.
Oh,
sold,
amazing.
yeah.
Okay.
But no, not in Kenya.
Not in Kenya.
A lot of my wildlife stuff I sell online to people out of Kenya.
This is unbelievably beautiful. Yeah, you're right. You do have to be patient. Wait for that moment. Look at our Simbas.
Yeah.
Okay, so when it comes to this, you obviously do need that lens, because you're not gonna creep up with a tiny lens.
You can't be close to the animals. You know.
Okay, next picture, please. As we hold to just take a caller who is holding on the line. Oh, I love your work. This is unbelievable.
Thank you very much.
Wow. So lighting is a big component of great photography, and of course, in this case, you're dealing with nature.
Yes.
You don't have studio lights that you can just set up. Tell us a little bit about how you manipulate light to get this kind of image.
When you're shooting wildlife, it's very different from studio, because you know, in studio you can place the lights where you want them to be. So when you in the wild, you have to think about where is the light coming from, where is the sun, and how do you position yourself to create the mood that you want to create in the image, you know.
Okay, I like this. It's very nice shadows. Wow, your work is unbelievable. All right, so my dear director Paul, if we can just hold some of these photos, we'll go back to them. But I believe that we have a caller who's holding on the line. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi, how are you, Nicholas?
I'm good.
Unaona hizi
Enjoying the
picha?
show.
Yeah, thank you so much. Are you seeing these
Yeah.
beautiful pictures?
It's very inspiring.
Yes, indeed. Do you have a question or comment for Clemo?
Yeah, Clement is doing a good job, and I think
Yeah.
in our country we have a problem with talent. You know, we have a lot of people who are being pushed to be doctors, to be journalists, to be lots of things.
Yeah.
I personally have been forced to do accounting, but I love music, but the environment there doesn't allow you, because it's like you are a caste, you are not well to do. So we have to revolutionize our country to allow people to do what they love. That's when we will attain.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yes, and this war must be done by the media fraternity.
Indeed, we're trying. We're trying as hard as we can. We really are. But you're absolutely right. And here's the thing, though, Nicholas, I'd like to say before Clement comments.
Yes.
Is that, you know, even in your accounting, it is important that you do not put your dream in the back burner. You need to start singing, brother. You need to put yourself out there.
Yes.
Yeah, it's important. What can you say to him about even transitioning from what he's doing now into his passion?
I think what I would say is just keep fueling that passion you have. Don't give up.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't mean because you're doing accounting you can't do photography on the side or music. You can always do your thing during the weekends, in the evenings. Just don't give up on your passion.
Do not. And you know what? The money will come.
The money
That's
will
what
come.
I always believe. The money will somehow show up if you do what you love.
Yes, that's
It is very, very important. Right, can we just go back to those images? Because I'd really like us to go through all of them. You guys have to see them. Okay, so this is gorgeous. Lots of great, beautiful lighting.
Yeah.
Do you sometimes take an image and it just surprises you when you look at your viewfinder? Or is
Sometimes
everything calculated with you?
Well, you have to do planning of your shots, and even if you're going to the wild or doing a studio shoot, you always have to plan your shots. I always like to plan my images.
Did you plan this one?
Oh, some things just happen.
Sometimes it's just favor.
Sometimes it's just favor. You're lucky to get.
Oh, this is unbelievable. Are these horses?
These are zebras.
Zebras.
Yes.
Beautiful, beautiful work. Have you ever had an exhibition where everybody can just come and see your work?
I haven't done that yet because,
Okay.
as I mentioned, I've just been doing this full time
Yeah.
for 5 months now.
Okay.
So I plan on doing that.
I love the fact that you for just 5 months this is the kind of work. It means that this is probably exactly what you were born to do. Unbelievable. We're going to take a look at some studio shots and some beauty shots which will also floor you. It's important that we talk about the expense of photography.
Yes.
People, I mean, us guys, our generation has come from Ramogi Studios.
Oh, yes.
Yes, Studio Mona, bigger, patutawai wasahau, you know. But now with all this great technology, with all this great equipment, people are getting more options. But there is the issue of expense and you, of course, being able to sustain this business. Tell us a little bit about how you balance that.
Well, that's the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
When it comes to photography, because every time you get a call from a client, it's something you have to deal with. It's something you have to deal with.
Yeah.
And again, going back to our history of, we always had that picture guy who used to come around the estates and take photos that people still bargained for.
Yeah.
You know? They want to pay 50 bob for an image. And you have to understand that they didn't invest in the kind of equipment that we're investing in now. They didn't go to the extra mile like we do stylists, we have makeup. You know, when you're doing a studio set, it's more than just going and clicking the camera.
I like that because you the first time I talked to you, you're not that guy. You're not that guy who you can just show up and click, click, click. No, you like to think through your photos.
Yes,
Tell me a little bit about that process. Why?
It's because of the image I want to get. I want to get an image that tells a story. I don't want to just go into the studio and just start shooting random things. That's why I always package my packages that way.
Okay.
I like to go through ideas with clients. Maybe it's because of my advertising background.
Yes.
I like everything I do to have a thought behind it, to have a concept behind it. And that's what tells a compelling story in the image, yes.
I love that, a compelling story in the image.
Yes.
Brilliant. All right, we have another caller who's holding on the line who'd like to say hi. Good morning, Robert.
Hello, how are you, Kobe?
I'm great. How are you doing?
I am good.
How is Voi?
Oh, is great.
Awesome. You have a question or comment for this super talented man?
I have a question.
Yes.
I am a pastor.
You're a?
I'm a pastor.
Okay.
In Voi. And been looking really for a good photographer here in Voi.
Yes.
At some point, I posted on one of our WhatsApp group that I'm looking for a photographer, not a cameraman.
Oh, great.
And so, but my question is,
Yes.
I've always been interested in photography.
Okay.
I think I can be a very good photographer.
Mm-hmm. Good.
My question is, is there some sort of training that somebody can go through once you have everything? Like, is there some short, like a crash program training that one can go through, like a month, 2 months, 2 months? Just to get, I'm not looking for being a professional, like get big bucks. If they come, that's okay.
Yeah, you want to start. You want to start.
I want to be able to take good, nice pictures and be able to just do a nice job for myself and for just my small work. Is that something that is in the market, or do you just have to do trial and error, and then eventually do it?
I like that question. Thank you very much, Robert. What can you say to that? Is it a trial and error? Do you have to take a course? All of it?
It's not trial and error. Okay. I can answer that question in two ways.
Yes.
If you want to be a professional photographer, this is like any other career. You need over 10,000 hours to master anything, right? This is not different from any career. You have to study, you have to read a lot of books. Luckily, nowadays, there's a lot of content online. Yeah. There's people who do master classes online. Some are free, some you have to pay for.
Yeah.
But it depends on the level of professionalism you want to get to with your photography. So I would say if you want to do this professionally, you really have to put in the work. You have to read a lot, do a lot of research, do a lot of practice. It doesn't just, you just don't pick up a camera and become good.
Would you suggest that Robert or any other avid photographer who would like to start, would you suggest the research part first and then the equipment? Because some people buy the camera, then they throw the manual, then harusi, and then it's just sitting there gathering dust, you know?
Yes,
what can you say to, what comes first?
You do research first.
Okay.
And you read a lot. Get to know your camera, research about the camera you want to buy first. Then now buy the camera and start practicing.
Okay.
A lot of people give up because they buy the camera first, then they go out to shoot, they don't get good images, they start getting frustrated, you know? Yeah.
Absolutely. And you know what, I think the trial and error phase is good as long as you're researching.
Yes.
As long as you're researching. Yeah. Can we put some of these beautiful pictures? Victoria Kimani is there. She's just, I'm such a fan of this girl. Look at this woman. How beautiful is she? Tell me about these shots. This is outdoor.
This is outdoor. We planned this shot.
Yeah.
We had a very nice location where there was a lake. And she does her own makeup, luckily.
Yeah, she does her own styling as well.
And styling, so
amazing
that was a plus.
moment.
We didn't have to involve a lot of people.
Okay.
And it was just, everything just fell.
Everything fell into place.
Yeah.
Okay, now this kind of picture is something that when I saw the image that you sent me of myself, I was like, Hiya, how did you do that? You know, take me through a little bit of your studio lighting and the experimenting that you go through, looking at an image like this. Tell me a bit about it.
Well, I would say I don't have a certain studio setup that I use.
Okay.
I like to experiment on the kind of project I'm doing.
Yeah.
It depends on, like this shot specifically, we had to use black lights. So it's not always the same lighting, it's not always the same equipment.
Okay.
You have to think about what you're shooting, then you light for that.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Unbelievable. Okay, let's keep going, my dear Esther. Oh, this is really beautiful. Your clients must just lose it when you finally produce. Okay, this is great. What are we looking at?
This was a trip we took. It was a road trip, and these are my friends.
Yeah.
And they were just enjoying themselves. They were not actually posing.
Yeah.
I was just behind them. I just thought, that's a good shot. Just
nice silhouette shots. Okay. Can we freeze this picture? Wonderful. Obviously, some very, very great lighting. Yeah. Tell me a little bit about balancing the lighting and ensuring the person does look as close to themselves as possible, even in post-production.
Yes.
Because that's a huge controversial area.
It is a huge controversial area, and people try to fix things in Photoshop.
Yeah.
I always encourage people not to do that, because get your image and composition right in camera.
Okay.
Get the lighting correct. Invest in a light meter.
Okay.
It helps a lot to if you're not very experienced in lighting.
What is a light meter, Clement?
A light meter allows you to get your exposure correct.
Okay.
It doesn't. If you find yourself, your images have overexposure and ile inaitwa kuchoma picha.
Kuchoma, yani mpaka
That
bleach.
That becomes a headache fixing that
Okay.
in Photoshop.
All right.
Yeah.
Do you know what I like about you is that you actually do think through a lot of your photos, and in terms of your themes and in terms of the art behind it. Yeah. This is one of the pictures that I found when I was stalking you. Oh. That I was like, hello, I need to meet this guy. Guys, I stalked him. Tell me about this picture and what you were looking to achieve.
This was a 70s, 80s look. You remember when ladies used to really go to the salon and glam themselves?
Yeah.
It was a beautiful era.
Look, this is your wife, isn't it?
That's my wife, yes.
She is absolutely beautiful. Guys, she's behind one of these cameras right here and she's refusing to be seen. I told her we're going to have to mulika this woman in just a few minutes. But she's a blogger as well, isn't she?
Yeah, she is.
It is so beautiful to have, look at her hiding. Please, can we mulika her? Can we mulika this beautiful lady? There she is. Yes, just wave to the camera, honey. Yes, she's a blogger. You're going to meet her one day. I'm going to make sure that she comes on. Thank you for being here. Okay, so that's her. Really nice, really nice. Okay, let's keep going. Let's keep looking at some of these pictures. I like the bounce of color as well. Experimenting with color is also something big for you, isn't it?
It was a very colorful
era. You're right.
Yes.
You're right. I feel like we're almost living in the most boring time when it comes to exploration.
It's pretty dull nowadays. I don't know what's going on.
Okay, so you've mentioned that you take pictures of families, you take pictures of newborns, very, very beautiful. Tell me a little bit about that commercial side of things, where it's not just about your passion or your art, and how you need to streamline your schedule, your calendar, so that you're balancing both.
Well, it's very tricky because sometimes it comes to a point where you have to choose the client you photograph for, because you want someone who appreciates what you do, and someone who will compensate you for the work you do. And sometimes it comes down to that. You have to think about what clients do I want to shoot for.
All right.
And I don't want really to run away from family business. As I mentioned, it's a beautiful thing.
It is.
It's a beautiful thing when you shoot for a family and someone sees their baby in such good light, you know. I love that feeling.
A moment frozen forever.
Yes, forever, that you cannot reproduce. I love that. I wouldn't want to go away from family. Okay. Even if I love shooting beauty and fashion, I would not want to give up the family section.
All right. So one of the last pictures we're going to look at of Clement is, of course, recognition of his work. And it's such a beautiful thing when you see your photo somewhere like that, Nat Geo. Tell me a little bit about this. How does it make you feel when you see your picture presented in this kind of scale, my friend?
It's an amazing feeling.
Yeah.
Because as I mentioned, arts are not very recognized in Kenya. Yeah. And we are at a point where even our government doesn't recognize us as artists. And as you've seen, we can show Kenya in such beautiful light. Can brand Kenya, Safaricom, will somebody call this man? You know, why do we need? Yes, please. Yes, why do we need National Geographic globally to recognize? Oh, you were on the Mail? Yes. Oh my gosh, this is unreal. I didn't know this. This is beautiful. Congratulations. Thank you very much. No, it is so time that we started, and we are actually getting to a place where we are recognizing our own local photographers, but we need to be a bit faster. We need to be a bit faster because guys are really passionate about this. Absolutely. There's a lot of photographers out there that want to show Kenya in beautiful light, you know. Okay. And it's a shame when we have all this talent here who know Kenya and can show Kenya from a Kenyan perspective. Right. And we still get foreign people to show Kenya. Okay. Yeah.
Clement, one of the things I can tell you is on this show, once you've shown your photography, guys will go online, they'll find you on Insta, they'll take your photos, they'll repost them.
Yes.
It is such a huge discussion. Every photographer who's been here gets so angry when I bring up this question. People are stealing photographers' work.
Yes.
They're cropping out your trademark,
Yes.
and who wants to brand their photo anyway?
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about how you feel about this, and when is it going to stop? Stealing of IP, what's in?
I hope it really stops, because I hate putting watermarks on my images, because I think it takes away from the composition, because you know, when you frame a shot in a certain way, you want the eye to follow a certain route to your subject.
Yeah.
Now comes the watermark. When you put the watermark, the eye will always wander away from the subject. And I hate putting watermarks on my images.
But you have to in this, yeah, because people are actually taking
Yes.
photos and posting them as themselves. We need to stop. I think there needs to be some kind of law. Yeah,
I think
Ezekiel
so.
Mutua, the way he's become so active,
Yes.
maybe that he should take that as one of his mandates. Actually,
I think so.
Absolutely.
Something has to be done.
Okay,
Yeah.
you are going to do something really beautiful. You're going to throw something into our AM Live hamper.
Okay.
Tell me a little bit about Mother's Day. Yesterday was such a beautiful day for me.
Day,
Yeah,
yes.
you promised me something, Clement.
Yes.
I'm going to twist you. Okay, so what are you going to do for one of our viewers?
I'm going to offer one of your viewers an exclusive shoot.
Yeah.
2 hours with me in studio. And
Amazing.
We get some great photos.
Awesome. Can we do this for a new mom?
Yeah, that would be great.
Let's do this for a new mom. So if you're a new mom, if you have a little toy and you just feel nyef, you feel like a grumpy trao, like you don't look beautiful, you don't look glamorous, hold up, we're gonna sort you out. And it's so important that we glam this woman up, right?
Oh, yes.
Okay, so we're gonna give a very avid AM Live viewer from Clement, and of course from my glam squad. I'm gonna tell you guys about them in just a little bit. Please log on to social media platforms and tell us why you deserve that makeover. Why do you, new mom, deserve that makeover? And of course, Clement and I will sit, we're the judges. We're going to sit and decide who is worthy. It's a horrible thing to say, but yeah. So log on and let's see if you are that lucky person, and we'll get you in touch with Clement. Clement, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you very much.
Amazing, amazing work, seriously.
Thank you.
So guys, I'm going to connect you to Clement Kiragu on our social media platforms. You're in the middle of a rebrand, aren't you?
Yes.
Why
yes,
is it
I am.
important to brand yourself and to put your brand out there?
It's very important, because you need to think about the kind of client you're targeting.
Okay.
So that's very important for me.
All right.
With my advertising background, I know it's very important. So I'm in the middle of doing that.
Amazing. Yeah. You are super, super talented. Guys,
Thank you.
Listen, he is available from all the corporates, Airtel, Safaricom, ERBL. This guy is available, and especially Brand Kenya. We are all trying to put this country on the map for all the right reasons. Yeah. So please log on to social media platforms to connect to Clement Kiragu. He's absolutely amazing, as I've said. We asked you a question earlier on the show. There it is on your screen. Which Kenyan photographer won the 2016 Commonwealth Photography Competition? And it was Amunga Eshuchi. That is very shrubbable. Amunga Eshuchi. All right? And our winners are, there they are. Do you want to name the winners?
Mike Thuo and Teddy.
Nderito. And then on Facebook, we have Ni Andalo. Congratulations, guys. For the winner of the makeover shoot, rather. Okay, log on to our social media platforms to find out if you are that very, very lucky winner. Thank you so, so much for joining us this morning. And I look forward to seeing some of the images that you will post. Remember, we live on Insta, AM Live NTV, and we look forward, of course. Okay, there he is. Yeah, there's his photo. Okay, unbelievably amazing. The Maasais who are playing cricket, remember that?
Yeah,
so beautiful.
It's a beautiful image.
Man, we need to recalibrate in terms of the images that the world sees of Kenya. All right, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Thank you, Clement.
Thank
you
you.
were
Asante
awesome.
sana.
You were very awesome. Yeah.
Thank you very
All right, Nickelback sang Photograph. It's a great song. May it make your Monday deadly. All right, keep it right here on NTV, as of course we will bring you up-to-date information and news that's happening this morning. As you know, Cord says that they will still go to Anniversary Towers, to the IEBC offices. Just keep it right here on NTV and NTV Kenya for up-to-date information on the same. Bye, everybody. Have a beautiful Monday. Do something amazing with your passion. Step out there. take on the world. Bye. Come, mama. Come, come. Come, we take pictures.